This is Jilliana Ranicar-Breese, and I'm back with Roger for part 2 of our conversation. Go ahead, Roger.
So, as I say, as a result of the work I did in Oxford, I ended up doing the consultancy first of all in Turkey, which was interesting because my first job was in the far southeast of Turkey.
Good heavens.
Van.
Where's that?
It's right in the far southeastern corner, 45 minutes from Iran. And I mistakenly thought, oh, sunshine, and they sent me there in
the winter.
January.
And it was obviously freezing.
-17, and the snow was 2 foot high. But then I did work. I did 7 centres in Romania, 4 in Lebanon, another one in Macedonia.
And how long did you stay in each
It depended.
country?
You know, I mean, the Romanian one, I would go there and back several times over the course of 2 years. Lebanon was a rescue operation where I was there for about 4 weeks. And then the big one...
Well, what do you mean, a rescue operation? What do you mean?
Well, they needed somebody in fairly quickly to sort them out, right?
Not a physical
No,
rescue.
not physically rescuing people out of Lebanon. In fact, it's a beautiful place. The only thing they had to rescue was me from the rather nice bar overlooking
in Beirut.
Pigeon Rock in Beirut, where we would spend our Saturday afternoons and often well into the evening. But and then, of course, eventually I worked in Turkmenistan.
Where?
Turkmenistan, which is really scary. I mean, there were 20 listening bugs in my apartment.
The Russians listening in? Is that part of USSR?
No, it used to be, and the bugs were left there, and they would read your emails, they would listen to your telephone calls. It was really quite fun.
Big Brother.
Oh, Big Brother, this one. And you couldn't open your windows on your apartment because they faced onto the road from the palace, and the president wouldn't allow you to open your windows or pull back your curtains in case you were going to shoot him. But an interesting place. And then eventually I went to Ankara to do this 2-year project where we were putting business centres in everywhere from the Black Sea down to the south coast.
But was this British-backed?
European Union backed that one.
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, one of the things that they do with countries is to do a lot of these projects where they are looking to join the European Union.
Right.
I mean, at the time, I think...
What era are we talking about?
Well, we're talking 9 years ago when Turkey were getting on that project. We're getting, across Turkey at that time, Europe were giving about $500 million in various projects. And, I mean, they're still doing those sorts of projects today. I mean, I recently finished one earlier this year in Osmaniye in the very south of Turkey, very close to the Syrian border, which is another European project. Romania was a World Bank project to help develop and so on. That one was done because the mines were closing and they needed an alternative, and therefore some form of entrepreneurial stimulus was good. So all of these sort of start to build your understanding of what is needed for entrepreneurship. And you see great examples. I had a friend called Sam, and all the conventional people said, go and get a job. Right? And there was something about Sam that I thought, no, you have the things, you have the passion, you have the drive.
Was he Turkish?
No, he was English. No, his family were Polish. He was English, born in this country, living in Oxford. And he was an amazing guy because he didn't have any money. He'd got a degree from university, couldn't get a job. No money, needed a website. He spent all summer learning how to write websites because he couldn't afford one. At any rate, I agreed I would act as his business advisor. I worked with Sam to get him up and started. By the end of the second year, I said to him, so what's the turnover this year then, Sam? And he said, 2 million. And I said, oh, it didn't work then. And the other lovely story I tell is...
Are you still in touch with him?
Oh, yes. He invited me to his wedding. Another one I'm in touch with is Lucy Jade Sylvester, who did a jewellery course but couldn't afford stones to do her jewellery, and then she discovered that the very reflective lights in cat's eyes, it's very reflective glass, and when they start to wear out, the county council dig them up, throw them in a pile, and so she would put on her jeans and her Wellingtons, take her screwdriver and lever out the good ones and make her jewellery with that. And when I did my lecture on Monday, I wore my 15-year-old cufflinks, a red one on the left side and a green one on the right side, that started life on the M40.
And how's she doing today?
And today she...
What she was today?
She was exhibiting in Las Vegas earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
Then she was at the Chelsea Flower Show. She's been invited back next year. And all of her stuff all of her moulds are made from things she finds in nature. And her most expensive, she found a stag beetle that had died. And she turned it into a mould and cast it in gold. And that sells at £15,600. So, you know, I mean, she's built a wonderful career. And to me, those are the things which is why you do it.
Yeah.
And unlike the traditional method that tells you what to do, I have no idea which ones will work and which ones won't. I've had a man come to me with a mobile sauna. I've had mobile dead body washing vehicles. You name it, I've had it. But the thing that will give me an indication is not the actual thing itself, it's the person.
Right.
You know,
so you're quite a psychologist then?
Well, I'm just a people person, I suppose, at the end of the day, and you can visualise with a person. You can see whether the passion's there. If somebody says to me, will it work? I say, I don't know, what do you think? And if they say, not sure,
don't know.
They say, of course it's going to. Sam knew, even when 10 business advisors said, go and get a job, he knew it would work. But
why work for someone else and give someone else your energy?
Well, precisely.
You've got to work for yourself. You've got to be independent.
You also have to recognise that already in my lifetime, I did 3 careers. You will, not jobs, careers. I was a teacher, I was an IBM senior manager, and I was a consultant. And I'm still doing it, right? And I will keep doing it as long as I can. But today's young people will probably change careers significantly more than 3 times. And at least one of those times will be as an entrepreneur running their own business. And
is that what you call it? Someone running their own business?
Yeah.
You call them, or he or she, an entrepreneur?
Well, it's interesting. You can. There are 2 possible theories. The theory of entrepreneur is really it's somebody who will run an enterprise that has the risk of making money or not. So there is a risk element.
So I've been an entrepreneur then in that case.
But that's it, and it's that risk element,
yes,
right, that people try and take out of young people, which is why.
You mentioned only young people. What about older people?
Well, to be fair,
midlife crisis, and somebody wants to start something different.
Oh yeah, it's very true. But they are more difficult because often they will be even more conditioned. I remember once having a guy who was going to open up his own accountancy, but he'd worked for a big company, and he'd always believed that marketing was rubbish, right?
Yeah.
And so getting him to market was a nightmare.
That's something I know nothing about, marketing.
Yes, you do.
We'll discuss that some other time.
You have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Flattery will get you everywhere. Well, we'll continue in part 3. Thank you very much, Roger.